Thank you, Honorable Mark and Excellency Han and distinguished audience. Good afternoon. It's like a homecoming. I'm here is second time, but I feel always attached to whenever I see Mark. And last time we met in Kosovo receptions, and I said to him that I am very busy, but let us find some time. So yesterday I remembered that there is an event here. So I tried to find out a very shortcut way. That's why I found one YouTube that gives you brief, quite brief, but yet elaborate places of interest, touristic places. But there are many. There are lots of Hindu temples, then gardens, botanical gardens. Then we have inland river ports, etc., etc. Many things. So that was not included in a nutshell. These are the prime actually. So it says that Bangladesh does not receive much, as many as tourists or other countries do receive. It's natural because we don't have that like Mount Everest or the Taj Mahal in India, but we do have some that speaks of the very proud history. And the journey actually starts very long ago. So I will give you some historical glimpses about Bangladesh, then our economy. I understand that you are interested about trade and investment, something like that. So it's quite elaborate, but since you are not the practitioner now, as of now, so I like to shorten the presentation. But I try to pinpoint that which, as a decision maker for investment, which variables or which information you should look into, and that one. So this going. So this one, welcome. So already you know this where Bangladesh is there. So I am not going. So this we can say that we are very ancient land. We stand on ancient land and pride. In Bangladesh, there is a detailed description in Ptolemy. He wrote Geographia, one book in 50 AD, almost 2000 years ago. So he described that there is an ancient mighty race, and these are the remnants of their coins, and these silver coins actually 600 BC, where we used to trade with the Europe. So so it's very old, we can see. So already this is actually university or learning center. It is a World Heritage Site, and this is a gold coin at that time. It's a 6th, 7th century. So this is the medieval capital of Bangladesh near Dhaka, where we used to trade with Europe, China, even African countries. So these are that 600 years old. Now we come to the economy. So we are now 23rd largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity. I know that you understand the purchasing power parity, PPP. So it is a $1.9 trillion economy, and number 34 in terms of nominal GDP, which is $500 billion. And our characteristics of the economy is that always we had positive growth. We never registered any negative growth, and we never defaulted any payment of any loans. So that is very important. It testifies the country's resilience. Then since I am talking about FDI, so FDI risk, I think risk outlook or risk premium is very minimum. And always we have economic outlook is very positive and stable. And we don't have any conflict, regional or internal. There are internal democracy related outbursts, but it's not major things. We implemented some mega projects, you see, except the nuclear one. We implemented rest of that one, and that helped us increase our GDP. We registered average 6% growth during from 2009 to 2024. average 6% growth. But last 2 years, our growth is 6%. Then this year, immediate past year, it is 3.5%, because of the uncertainty that came with the oustage of the former Prime Minister, and there is a questions of democratic restoration, but we did it. We did it. There's an election on the last month and the new government in place. So we have to run very fast because we have to make up many losses. So we import actually one of the major for trade related areas for those who are in Germany. Germany excel in machineries. So machinery, electronics from the South Asian countries, they focus on electronics. From Africa, you can focus on iron, steel, and other raw materials like cotton. We import a lot of cotton from India, then we import from Burkina Faso, Cameroon, etc. Then man-made staple fibers, we import a lot of. We import from China, South Korea, and other countries. Oil, we of course we import two types of oils. One is from for the edible oil, so we import from Brazil. We used to import a lot from Ukraine, but we cannot do it at this moment. Then import cereals from our neighboring country, from outside. So these are our big imports. So one of the trade, if you are engaged in the selling, marketing missions, so you can pick up this information. And I don't know what is. And regarding our export, I did not make this slide because our export item is heavily tilted towards the ready-made garments. We are the second largest exporter of ready-made garments, and that means we export more than 55 billion after China. We are number 2, but there is a catch. We are number 2, but there is a big difference between China and Bangladesh. Like China exports $200 billion, and we export 55. So there is a huge gap between first number 1 and number 2. But we are not frustrated. We are hopeful for that because there is a large gap we can catch on. And of course, we are importing lots of bicycles to Europe. Last year, we exported 5 million pieces of bicycles to the Europe. So bicycle is coming up. Then we export mobiles, other electronic items. So these are coming up, new horizon. And regarding the investment, so global FDI, I give you information, is 1.3 trillion. So global FDI stock is very big. But unfortunately, we are not actually catching up or drawing attention to the to receiving the FDI. So that is our weakness. So because one of the reason could be our lack of actions, and there are many other factors. So why the investor choose Bangladesh? Is number one is that the factor, human factor. And human factor is so productive, they can come up with a very, very efficient and productive way so that it can enhance your competitiveness. Like I tell the German side that the purpose of both Germany and Bangladesh is same. Germany wants to enhance the competitiveness. I think each country wants to enhance the competitiveness. So how they can achieve the competitiveness? They can achieve competitiveness through increasing the value for money. So if they have the fixed budget, the indifference curve, budget line. So if they source Bangladesh, they can get more products out of their limited budget line. On the other hand, Bangladesh also wants to raise competitiveness. How? We want to learn new things. We want to produce new products, new technology products. We want to utilize our people. And Bangladesh, the more quite young people in the sense our average age is 25, whereas in our other regions, ASEAN 27 or 29, here is 49, Japan 50. So average democratic is in our favor at this moment. And people choose Bangladesh because if you export from Bangladesh, you get duty-free access to EU market, to Japan, to China, many other countries. So duty-free access gives you additional competitiveness. So duty-free access will hope to continue until 2032. Then, of course, we have local incentives for the investment will come up later. So I was talking about that these statistics. You see on the what is right hand side, the MAC population. I don't know if you have MAC. MAC means middle class and affluent consumers. So MAC growth rate is Bangladesh is high, at 12.3%. Everybody is growing, but we are outgrowing others. So there is Bangladesh, Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and India and Thai. So the middle class and affluent class is growing. And the middle one is weighted cost of production. If you see the for each employment, Bangladesh is of only $500,000 USD you have to spend for one employment, whereas in others is then more than 1 million. So this one is quite, I think, should be captivating for the investors. And of course, we want to give you the proof, the return. So these things, the company wants return. So one of the checkpoint for your decision to look at the balance sheets or the balance sheet or publish accounts of the companies, those who have invested, how much they are earning compared to their capital. So there is the Grameen Phone, one Bangladeshi and Norwegian company, Berger, I think, German, Lafarge, German, Reckitt and Coleman, and Mericos is 5. So their return on equity is of course it is double digit, but it is too high compared to global sectoral average. So it's the middle one is return on equity. So this is one of the important information for you to make decision. So last week during the interim government, we have checked what is our FDI inflow. So we have seen that during the first half of 2025, we received $1 billion of FDI compared to the same period of the 2024. So there was a 61% jump. And this is the same thing. So coming, we want to go out of the traditional export items, which is jute items, then apparel items. So now we want to go to the technical item. So technical item, we like to remember some our two things. I can tell you that two scientific discovery that Bangladesh did that changed the whole world. So this one is the scientific discovery. It is one professor there. His name is Jagadish Chandra Bose. He wrote in 1925 to Einstein about the behavior of a metal under certain temperature is absolute zero. So it says that he says that if the temperature is 373 or say minus absolute zero, so the metal behavior will be completely conductor. I mean, there will be no electrical resistance, and it becomes a super computing. So on his theory, there is a large large hydro collider it is in, if you go to Switzerland, you will find it. And so this is the basis of quantum computing. You say the next, this is the quantum computing basis. So this is one contribution. So Bangladeshi scientists also lead to discovery of different types of photon light sensitive. I mean lights. There are some kind of lights here, fermion. So now our ambitions is not that much. So we like to patronize our light engineering sectors. So this is a huge potential for Bangladesh for investment because it is a labor intensives, number one. We have the labor. There are many parts produced in the Western world, like automotive parts, aeroplane parts, lot of parts, motor parts, etc. So that can be effectively produced in Bangladesh efficiently and competitively can be produced. So these are the scenarios. So is increasing trade, light engineering sectors. potential human. Then we are focusing on shipbuilding. So shipbuilding, we have the legacy, and shipbuilding, we used to export ships to the UK during 17th century, UK century. So there was a Trafalgar War, and the ships the British imported, or they take it from us, 2 ships for engaging into Trafalgar War in 1805, 220 years ago. So now we are exporting shipbuilding ships, and these are the ships launched and exported. This ferry also exported to Denmark or some countries. Now electronic brands, actually the local brands are emerging in Bangladesh. So one of the strengths of Bangladesh that you can see, you can judge how well the local brand is doing. So we have now the local electronic brands coming up, and they are increasingly occupying the markets. Pharmaceutical sector is one of them. We produce 97% of our domestic needs. And it's a big market, $5 billion market, and we export more than 100 countries in the world. In our neighboring countries, of course, mostly market is concentrated in Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, then Philippines, neighboring markets. Then also it goes to USA, UK, and some companies also trying to market their pharmaceuticals in Germany. So there is another, contract manufacturing. There is another term is very, very popular in pharmaceutical domain, that contract manufacturing. So you have a products you develop, and you give the outsource the marketing. So it's like tailoring your suits over there, and so something same of model. Model is the same, only the sophistication. So yeah. So these are the clients of our global clients from the UN and other NGOs. They buy regular medicines from Bangladesh. And now I have told you that one revolutionary invention was from this Chandra Bose, Jagadish Chandra Bose, about LHC and behavior of the metal. Quantum behavior of the metal. So this YouTube, perhaps you may know or may not know mostly that YouTube is YouTube is co-founded by Bangladeshi, one Bangladeshi. So this is the Bangladeshi German boy. He loaded the first YouTube in the world. So it happened in Cologne, 2004. So he loaded his first YouTube and sent to his mother to check it works or not. So this Bangladeshi German boy is the founder of the YouTube. And later on, he actually could not understand this YouTube, so he sold it 200 million something to who? I got to Google about it. I don't. So YouTube is there from Bangladesh, German. So we have all the IT services and products. I am not going to in details. So the all business processing, outsourcing, call centers, design, etc. All types of applications can be outsourced in Bangladesh. Then the latest we are trying is the semiconductor sector. Semiconductor means we use a lot of chips in your mobiles, computer. Without chips, we are virtually freeze. We cannot think of chips. So these chips, we have the capability. We already designed the semiconductor chips. There are 3-4 designing companies of the chips companies. They design for Intels. Now we are thinking to take one more step ahead. That is the packaging industry, semiconductor chips packaging industry. So packaging is not that like we wrapping up a gift. It's not like that. It's very, very technical. So it comes from Taiwan, a wafer. Then you cut it and then you put all the pins. So it's all done by the machine, not by hand. But it is technician by engineer oriented. So each engineer, so it's like a garment industry. So we can do that, but the people who can operate must be knowledgeable in a high tech person. So we are doing that one. We have goals, but we're planning to do that. So this is one of the sector. So why Bangladesh? I already told you many times. So whenever you take decision to invest in a country, so you have to explore the competitive offers or incentive that country offers. So you can have a comparative analysis. Okay, Bangladesh is giving what about India, what about Myanmar? So in order to have an enlightened and fruitful decision making, so you see that one first question you should bring in your mind, that legal framework, so that whether if there is a problem, so how I can get the address. So what are the rules? What about the taking Bangladesh to international court? Is Bangladesh a signatory or not? Is there any bilateral investment treaties with Germany or not, or European Union as such? So you have to check that one. So Bangladesh, we see the opportunities unbound, and so there are modes of investment. You see that you can own 100% of your business in Bangladesh. You don't need to take anybody, any partner, local partner. There is many countries, they obligate you to take local partners, but we don't tell you to do so. So you can be 100% on your own. Joint venture, of course, partnership, of course, the same. And PPPs, I don't know whether you have familiar with the PPP, public partnership. So PPP address that government address the viability gap. Suppose you are planning to do a lab, medical lab, testing lab in a rural areas. So you know that you need suppose 10,000 patients on an average per year, but you calculate that okay, no, there is no 10,000 people here. So you say government that okay, most probably I'll get 5,000, so you give 5,000 money. So government can subsidize. So in this way, you can build your partnership there also. So also franchise is there, licensing is there. Like you can take what is German chicken food here, chicken brand, or like the fast food brand. So this operates under franchise. Okay. Oh. So there are incentives like tax holidays. So if you go to if you tour operator, like here many tour operators are interested in Bangladesh. So if they operate there, so we don't ask for tax for 10 years, 5 to 10 years. It depends on where the office is there. If they go to outside, then incentives are more. Then there are industries. So if you put an industry, so you need to import raw materials. So your questions will be, okay, if I import raw material, then what will happen to that? Because there is an import tax. So there is a methods of exemptions of import tax. So these things we are allowing things, customs duty, raw materials, and this. So these are some acts. The same thing. There's acts. Okay, FDI policy incentives. I told you there is some. Avoidance of double taxation is another important you may face, that if you pay tax in Germany, you don't need to pay tax in Bangladesh. So vice versa, same thing. And tariff concessions. So lot of also you can get permanent residency permits if you invest $500,000 or more. So these are the investment incentives. So these, I think this one is IMF projections that what Bangladesh will stand in terms of economy. So it says that we will be 23rd largest economy. Now we are 34th. So we hope, we aspire to jump from 34 to 23rd. So that is a big leap. So far the indication is positive, I would say, but we have to be cautious. And we need your supports. And regarding I like to tell you that German-Bangladesh relation is stronger than ever, and so they like to both countries agreed that German-Bangladesh will in economic sector will strengthen its ties, and we have requested that we like to be a partner in your development efforts. So it's all positives are there, but we need to work very hard. We need to elevate the status of our manpower also. So more engineers, more technicians, more efficient things, and so the result is positive. Anything as I would like to finish it here. So I cover trade, investment, incentives, tourism. What else? Anything? So there are more. Bangladesh is a large culture or something like that. There are some Bangladeshi here, I think, huh? Three. No, three. Oh. Okay, so I don't want to elaborate, but I would welcome any questions, observations, comments.
Let's express our gratitude.
Thank you.
You just invited in case there are some questions you'd like to pose in this format. There's also an informal format afterwards, a reception.
No, okay.
Let's start here formally. Please, if you could stand and briefly introduce yourself.
Nice to see you again, Ambassador. Welcome back to the ICD Academy. And I don't know if you remember me. But
Yes, I remember. You were here last time.
The last time you were here. And, at the start of October, you were absolutely right. I was sitting on the other end of the aisle. And I had asked you a question which I'm going to repeat today because in the 6 months that have elapsed since our last meeting, the condition in Bangladesh has obviously changed a little. So first of all, congratulations that the country has been able to successfully conclude its elections and elect a new government. So many congratulations, and maybe a quick round of applause because it's a huge lesson for other countries that are trying to overthrow oppressive systems and then bring in newer, more, I would say, democratic forms of governance. So congratulations on that. Now to my question, I'm just going to repeat what I asked you next time, but I'm sure your answer might be slightly different given the recent developments in the India-Bangladesh relationship. I, of course, come from India, and I'm ethnically Bengali, which means we have a language in common, but also a culture in common. And given the recent deterioration in the diplomatic relations between India and Bangladesh, it pains my heart because we have so much in common. Historically, culturally, food, language, there's not one thing that separates us. And yet there is great animosity between our two states now, and I wish there was a way for us to go back to how things were. Do you think with a new government in place and with renewed optimism that there is in Bangladesh, I'm sure right now, do you see the relationship mending itself in the recent, in the upcoming months, or do you see Bangladesh just charting its own path, very independent of India? Again, I don't mean to imply that Bangladesh should look up to India or that India should continue to play the big brother role, which it did for many years and which I have a problem with. But do you think as neighboring nations which have so much in common, do you think there is a way for the two nations to find a unified path again, or will Bangladesh just do its own?
Okay.
I'm sorry if my question
No, not sorry. Very interesting. Yeah, the first always we say that you can change, you can sit here, right, leaving your neighbor here. But for a country, it is not, obviously, a country has no choice. So it is fixed by, I don't know, by, so those who believe God or those who believe by destiny. Okay, so both the countries realize this one. So you see, after the elections, the Indian Prime Minister made remarks. The Foreign Minister, everybody, Indian High Commissioner also there. So now the people-to-people contact will increase. The visa was looked. Bangladesh is one of the, I think, number one tourist recipient. Number one country for India. I think 2 million tourists from Bangladesh visit every year. So India has stopped it. So it's a very big burden for India also, very big. So they are now opening up. They used to issue visa, but not that is en masse. So every day there was like 5,000, 10,000 people used to receive the visa. But now in the interim government there is a little problem. But now is the crowds are clearing up. Now there's a clear blue sky, I think, and so far the message is very good and optimistic. I don't see any problem at all. Rather the pace of cooperation will increase much more. And the government also thinking the linking projects, etc. All the projects will come up. Yeah. So there is nothing that we are going back, look back.
This is Arfin. I'm from Bangladesh. I'm really very grateful to have this opportunity to attend this conference. And actually, this is my second conference with you. Still, some of my friends, they are talking about our food. They cannot forget about our food. Yeah. So, I always, it's like a proud moment for me when I see my culture, food, heritage being represented in a global stage. I'd like to ask a question to you. What opportunities can Bangladeshi student or young professional explore to contribute our country's global economic and diplomatic sector?
Okay, yes, good.
Thank you.
Good, yeah, you mentioned the food. We have prepared a modest food for you, I think. Bangladesh is, Bangladeshi cuisine is well respected in the world, particularly in London, in UK. If you visit, there are lots of Bangladeshi restaurants. But you will find we use the Indian restaurant name because it's from the history. So you will see the Indian restaurants, what is called chicken tikka, etc., etc. So it's actually owned by or from the Bangladeshi side. So there we have 12,000 restaurants in the UK. So out of 20,000 restaurants, 12,000 is owned by Bangladeshi, but mostly run under the name of India or Indian name. Like here in Berlin, there are some like Haveli. Then one I know. So there is no Bangladesh name. That's the problem. But they are coming up to focus on Bangladesh, and particularly students can of course the student is the representative at a point where people think the same, universal. The term university comes universal, like the all thinking should be parallel. No one is left behind. So where we are very eager to increase the number of student participation in global educational institutions so that they can interact with the top minds of the other countries and can build a long-lasting bridge, right? I am here giving you lecture for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but you are here, and you are interacting with everybody every day. So there is obviously beneficial kind of interactions, a strong voice about Bangladesh. They know Bangladesh better through you. And if you perform better, obviously that reflects positively on Bangladesh, no doubt. So in business, you have very strong role. You have to be, some kind of entrepreneurial in mind. So you talk with your other students, your fellow students about how to become entrepreneurs. Like you can ask them. Sometimes as ambassador, I ask them, Excellency, I am ambassador to Germany, but whenever I see the one ambassador in Africa, I ask them, Excellency, what are you doing? What potentials we can do, business, etc., etc. So I try to learn actually and try to give the message, despite the fact that that country, an African country, is not my responsibility, but I do that out of gesture. And sometimes they become surprised, okay, Excellency, you are for Germany, but you are asking us so many questions. But they like it, actually. It's not offense. They like it. And they registered that mind, okay, the Bangladesh ambassador told me this opportunity. Sometimes it may happen that it will open up connections, or it will register positively. So interacting with the people, their culture, diplomacy has no other alternatives. So is a sustainable interactions, and it creates value for everybody. It creates value for everybody. It's a win-win situation. Provided that we keep it open. Like German foreign policy is, your chancellor says that we like free and fair trade, open trade. We like to remain open for everybody. So that is the strength, actually, I think. So if you close everything, then it's a problem. Like there are countries elevating the tariffs on textile, so what will happen? So like if a developed country refusing to interact, in trade and impose barrier. So they have to do the same thing. So they have to sew their own clothes, sew their own clothes. So if you are a doctor and engineers or high professional, if you make your own fabrics, then it is a problem because you'll be training resources to low level of technological things orientation. So that's not good. Yes, students are very, very good. I studied in Australia, so I remember the days because in Bangladesh we interact with ourselves, but in global platform like ICD here, you are interacting with many, so you can have the top overview. So thank you.
Okay. Hello, myself Shadeb Dash. I'm from also Bangladesh. Excellency, it's my honor to ask you a question. I'm actually this year actually I turned 41. Within this year, 41 year age, actually I only cast my board only for one times. That is the previous government actually. Meanwhile, we had bad experience, but and I also was a part of that experience actually. On 5th of August actually, I was in Gonobhavan.
Oh.
Yeah, I was the
So
proud part of.
Historic moment.
Yeah, I was the proud part of that actually moment. But actually, me and our next generation's expectation couldn't meet.
Mm-hmm.
We are very much frustrated about that. Due to several reasons, there is a political reasons. I honestly believe. In terms of business, actually, I believe we will go far, and we have that much opportunity in terms of manpower and others facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you said FDI actually jumping up 61% just for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a year. So actually, are you hoping it could dramatically change as country is now in a stable mode?
Dramatically change. Okay.
Yeah, my first question is there, and second question is, I think. Oh yeah, this is only the question.
Oh. Okay, first question, I understood that frustration or something like the voting.
Yeah.
Yes, it's everybody's frustration. I voted since in 91 I voted, and then from 2000 actually I am outside. My mother is with me, and my mother told me that vote automatically happens because she went to vote center and then she came to know vote has been completed on her behalf. So anyway, so this is a reformation process. Every country has this own initiative process. But one thing you can be proud of Bangladeshi. You know, there is some autocratic regime. They try to preach the idea that you have to make development wagon, compartment should come first, then democracy. The theory is that development is important, more important than democracy. But Bangladesh proved it wrong. The people of Bangladesh said, no, democracy is first, then they will see how development happens. So this is actually very rare. People opt for the development first, but we did not opt for democracy. So you have every reason to be optimistic. And regarding the dramatic increase of the FDI, it's very difficult, I would say. Dramatic, like if somebody invests 2 billion from Germany, then it will be dramatic. But I don't have any data that it will increase dramatic. But there are some pipelines like drones from the China, and from India also there will be some investment. So if they come together, so investment could be like 2 billion, so 1 billion, and then another 2 million, so 2 billion. So 100% increase, so is of course dramatic then. So mathematically it will be dramatic, but if you aggregate with our and compare with our GDP, it's not dramatic. So GDP is low, so from low to little bit it's dramatic. So.
Actually, I forgot that.
We're a little bit over time, so just very briefly if we can, okay?
My second question is actually, meanwhile, European Union actually entered into an agreement with the India. Actually,
India.
Yeah, it's a big contract. Actually, I would say. As you mentioned, we are in second position in garments industries, ready-made. So actually, do you think actually may we going to lose our position to go, actually India or another countries?
Theoretically, yes, we fear that one, but we are a little bit competitive in terms of India. We are like 5-7% competitive than India, but we'll have the same thing with the European Union. We are hoping, and this kind of special privilege, preferential market and duty-free access to European market will continue hopefully beyond 29. So at this moment, our policymakers trying to see will enter also free trade agreement with the European Union at least, or if not possible, we will go for GSP plus. So that is, so it's not worrisome. So we'll find out, because we believe like Germany, the free and fair trade. Maybe we have to produce more bicycles or other things.
So let's take the opportunity to express our sincere gratitude.
Thank you.